Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your clothes just don't fit you anymore, even though they still technically fit? That's something almost every woman over 50 goes through. Our bodies change, but most of us keep dressing for the shape we had years ago. In today's video, we're fixing that. You'll learn how to dress for your current body shape, with simple, timeless tips that bring back balance, confidence, and elegance. By the end, you'll know exactly what flatters you, what to avoid, and how to create outfits that make you feel radiant again. Let's start with one of the most common shapes among women over 50. Among women over 50, the pear-shaped body is one of the most common and one of the most beautiful when dressed with intention. It's the shape where the hips and thighs are fuller, the waist defined, and the shoulders narrower. For many of us, these curves tell a story of experience, motherhood, and strength. But as we age, gravity and hormonal shifts often make the lower body a little heavier and the upper frame softer. A 2022 report from the American Council on Exercise found that nearly 40% of women over 50 carry most of their weight around the hips and thighs, even if they were more evenly proportioned earlier in life. The challenge isn't about hiding those curves, it's about balancing them gracefully. The goal is to draw the eye upward, highlight the waist, and keep the entire look light and vertical. When these three elements come together, you don't just look taller, you feel effortlessly composed. I remember this realization vividly in my early 50s. My hips had become fuller, my favorite jeans no longer fit the way they once did, and I kept reaching for oversized tops hoping they would camouflage my shape, but they didn't. Instead, they made me look heavier and shorter. The moment I learned how to dress with balance in mind, I stopped fighting my body and started celebrating it. Let's begin with the upper half. When your shoulders are narrower than your hips, structure and brightness are your best allies. Tops with gentle shoulder details like soft puff sleeves, subtle pleating, or lightly padded seams create balance instantly. Necklines play an equally important role. A V-neck, beitao, or open scoop draws the eye upward and softens the lower body's fullness. Research from the Pantone Color Institute shows that lighter shades reflect more light toward the face, which is why soft ivory blush or pale blue blouses tend to make mature skin glow. And don't underestimate texture fabrics like silk blends or viscose drape beautifully without clinging, offering comfort and elegance at once. Ask yourself this when you try on a blouse. Where does your eye go first? If it's drawn to your neckline and shoulders rather than your hips, that's your sign the piece works for you. If the first thing you notice is your lower body, the top is probably too plain, dark, or long. Now let's talk about bottoms. The biggest mistake I see women over 50 make is clinging to overly tight pants or light-colored leggings. They not only exaggerate the hips but also break the vertical line of your silhouette. Instead, reach for mid or high-rise trousers in straight or softly wide cuts. These create length and fluidity. A medium-weight fabric is ideal, it smooths without squeezing. The Fashion Institute of Technology has even noted that fabrics with a bit of structure can visually reduce hip width by up to 10%. Stick with deeper colors like navy, charcoal, or black, which slim the lower half while allowing the top to shine. For those who love dresses, the A-line and wrap styles are your best friends. An A-line skirt gently skims the hips, creating movement and femininity. A wrap dress emphasizes the waist and adds a beautiful diagonal line that elongates the body. I often suggest these for occasions when you want to feel put together without fuss: brunches, casual dinners, even relaxed garden weddings. One of my clients, Janet, 63, told me she hadn't worn dresses in years because she felt too bottom heavy. After trying a deep green wrap dress with a subtle belt, she looked 10 pounds lighter and walked with a different kind of confidence. Sometimes it's not about the pounds, it's about proportion. Handbags and shoes also influence how your body reads visually. If your purse hits exactly at the widest part of your hips, it will draw attention there. Choose bags that rest at the waist or can be carried by hand. Nude or skin tone pointed toe shoes work like a stylist's secret weapon. A Harper's Bazaar study showed that nude shoes can visually lengthen the leg by up to 7%, even when flat. Little details like that can make all the difference. Another mistake I often see is wearing long tops that try to hide the hips. In theory, it sounds logical: cover the area you don't want to highlight, but in reality it backfires. Tops that end just below the hip bone create a clean proportion. Longer tops cut the leg line and make the torso appear shorter. Similarly, overly clingy fabrics or bold patterns around the lower half can throw off balance. When in doubt, keep the top light and detailed, and the bottom clean and structured. Accessories are your finishing touch and one of the easiest ways to shift attention upward. Short necklaces, delicate scarves, or softly textured earrings help frame your face and create focus where you want it. Even something as simple as adding volume to your hairstyle near the crown can elongate your entire frame visually. I always tell my clients, elegance at this age isn't about denial, it's about direction. Where do you want the eye to go? Guide it there deliberately. When your outfit creates vertical movement up toward your face, your posture, and your expression, you project grace, not effort. For a workday or lunch with friends, imagine this: a light ivory blouse with a slight shoulder detail, tucked into navy straight-leg trousers, nude flats, and a soft gold necklace. For a casual weekend, try an A-line denim dress cinched at the waist, paired with tan sandals and a short printed scarf. And for evenings, a wrap dress in deep plum or navy with a small metallic clutch resting above the hips feels both comfortable and quietly glamorous. The beauty of mastering the pear shape is that once you understand balance, every outfit starts to work in your favor. You no longer wonder, does this make me look heavy? Instead, you start asking, how does this make me feel? And that's the question of a confident woman. And if your concern lies not in the hips, but around the midsection, if your challenge is defining your waist, or keeping the tummy area smooth, then the next shape, the apple, will feel surprisingly familiar. Because just like the pear, it's not about hiding what's changed, it's about celebrating what still shines. For many women over 50, the apple shape becomes increasingly familiar. The body naturally begins to carry more weight around the midsection, while the arms, shoulders, and legs often remain slim and graceful. It's a shift that happens quietly one day. The waistline that used to define your silhouette seems to blur, and you find yourself reaching for looser tops, hoping for comfort and coverage. But here's the truth: your shape hasn't disappeared. It's simply changed its balance. A 2021 study from the North American Menopause Society found that nearly 55% of women after menopause experience central fat gain, even without significant weight changes overall. The reason is hormonal. Lower estrogen encourages fat to settle around the abdomen. But the solution isn't hiding behind oversized clothes. It's learning how to dress in a way that visually restores proportion and flow. The goal for apple-shaped women is to elongate the torso, create a gentle illusion of a waist, and keep the eye moving vertically rather than horizontally. Let's start with tops, the most strategic part of your wardrobe. Flow and drape are your best friends. Think tunic tops that skim the body without clinging, or soft peplum designs that create shape just below the bust. Empire waist dresses are another secret weapon. They draw attention upward toward your neckline and shoulders while letting the fabric fall smoothly over the midsection. I once styled a 62-year-old client named Elaine who told me, "I don't have a waist anymore." She had stopped wearing dresses completely. When she tried on a deep navy empire waist dress with a soft fabric belt resting just under her bust, she looked instantly lighter and taller. It wasn't magic, it was balance. Fabric choice makes a world of difference. Avoid anything thick or stiff that sits away from the body. It adds volume where you don't need it. Lightweight materials like viscose, jersey blends, or soft crepe move gracefully as you do. And when it comes to color, keep your base darker around the torso and play with lighter tones near the face. This automatically draws attention upward. Now let's talk structure. A longline blazer or a lightweight cardigan that hits mid-thigh creates instant verticality. When left open, these outer layers form two clean lines that visually narrow the center of the body. It's one of the simplest visual tricks stylists use. According to a fashion psychology brief by the Parsons School of Design, clothing with strong vertical lines, whether from seams, lapels, or accessories, can visually elongate the frame by as much as 8%. If you've ever wondered why certain jackets make you feel put together while others don't, it's because the right cut can redirect focus. The wrong one, boxy, cropped, or overly stiff, stops the eye right at the midsection. And that's not where we want attention to land. When it comes to pants, think sleek, not skinny. Straight leg or slim tapered trousers in darker tones will help ground your outfit. A mid or high-rise waistband smooths the stomach area while subtly lifting the torso. I often recommend fabrics with a bit of stretch, structured enough to hold shape, but flexible enough for comfort. Avoid low-rise styles. They divide the torso in half, making the middle look wider. Now, let's address one of the biggest misconceptions I see with apple-shaped women: the oversized outfit. Many believe that more fabric equals more coverage, but in reality, oversized tops and shapeless dresses often exaggerate the very areas you want to soften. The same goes for belts placed directly at the waist. While they might work for other body types, they tend to emphasize fullness here. Instead, shift the line slightly upward under the bust or at the high waist to create a smoother, more proportionate silhouette. Accessories, as always, are your secret style allies. A long pendant necklace or a softly draped scarf naturally draws the eye downward, elongating the torso. The same principle applies to V-neck lines, which open the chest area and add vertical movement. Avoid high, rounded necklines. They shorten the upper body and can make the shoulders look broader. Try this quick mirror test. When you look straight ahead, does your outfit encourage your gaze to travel down your frame? If so, you've achieved the perfect visual balance. And don't underestimate your legs, they're often your strongest feature. Apple-shaped women tend to have beautifully toned calves and ankles. Show them off. Cropped trousers that hit just above the ankle, pencil skirts with a slight slit, or dresses that end right at the knee all highlight this natural strength. Pair them with pointed toe flats or low heels in a nude tone, and you'll notice how much longer and leaner your entire frame appears. I remember attending a style workshop a few years ago and meeting a woman named Rosa, 58, who confessed she hated shopping because nothing ever looked right anymore. We picked out a soft, dusty rose tunic, added a light gray cardigan, paired it with tailored black trousers, and finished with a long silver necklace. When she looked in the mirror, she gasped and said, "I look like myself again." That's the beauty of understanding your shape. It's not about changing your body. It's about dressing in harmony with it. So, before you dismiss your wardrobe as not for my body anymore, take a moment to rethink. The apple shape is strong, balanced, and sophisticated when styled with intention. You don't need to hide, you just need to redirect the eye and restore flow. Clothing should never make you feel like you're fighting your body, it should feel like a conversation with it. And if your challenge isn't in the midsection but rather in creating definition around the waist while celebrating curves, then our next shape, the hourglass, offers a new opportunity to highlight natural proportion and timeless femininity. For many women over 50, the body can begin to feel more straight up and down than it used to. The waist seems less defined, the hips and shoulders align almost evenly, and the overall shape can look a little boxy. This is what stylists call the rectangle body type, a balanced frame that simply needs the right visual shaping to bring back softness and flow. The goal isn't to chase curves you don't have, it's to suggest them through fabric, structure, and smart styling. As we age, it's completely normal for muscle tone to change. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that women in their 50s experience a gradual reduction in natural body definition, especially around the waist, due to lower estrogen and slower metabolism. But the beauty of the rectangle shape lies in its versatility. It's like a clean canvas that you can transform with texture, proportion, and layering. The easiest way to introduce shape is to define the waist visually. Think wrap dresses or belted styles that gently cinch in the middle without squeezing. The wrap dress, made famous by Diane von Furstenberg in the 1970s, remains timeless for a reason. It creates the illusion of an hourglass figure on almost any frame. A soft belted dress with pleats or ruching can do wonders for adding volume in just the right places. When I worked with a 56-year-old client named Marion, she told me, "Everything looks too straight on me now, I miss having a waist." We tried a simple belted shirt dress in olive green with a slightly flared skirt. The moment she tied the belt just above her natural waistline, she smiled. The shape returned instantly, not because the dress was tight, but because it guided the eye to the center of her body instead of letting it drift. Blouses and tops are another key opportunity to add femininity. Look for soft ruffles, puffed sleeves, or boaty necklines details that bring a sense of romance and dimension. These touches draw attention upward and create gentle curves around the bust and shoulders. A slightly structured shoulder line paired with a tapered waistline can also make the torso appear more sculpted. Avoid stiff or boxy fabrics; they exaggerate the rectangular form. Instead, opt for materials with movement: silk blends, rayon or cotton mixed with spandex that follows your body's flow without clinging. If you're choosing separates, pair lighter tones on top with darker shades on the bottom. This contrast adds depth and helps define your silhouette. Culottes and midi skirts work beautifully for rectangle shapes because they introduce swing and motion to the lower half of the body. They create rhythm as you move, breaking up straight lines and adding personality. For instance, a printed A-line midi skirt in soft fabric can instantly transform a plain outfit into something graceful and alive. Here's an important style rule: structure is your friend, but in moderation. You want clothing that shapes, not stiffens. A well-fitted blazer with a self-tie belt or a softly belted trench coat can subtly carve out a waist while maintaining elegance. Try leaving the front slightly open to show a glimpse of your blouse. Underneath, this layered look adds depth and dimension, making your figure appear more three-dimensional. A common mistake I see among rectangle-shaped women is relying too heavily on shapeless garments, especially oversized sweaters or tunics without definition. While they may feel comfortable, they tend to make the body appear boxier. Another misstep is wearing extremely fitted clothing that clings without creating curves. It emphasizes straightness rather than flow. The sweet spot lies somewhere in between: pieces that suggest contour without compression. Accessories can also play a big role in adding softness. A curved belt made from supple leather, tied rather than buckled, can instantly reshape your middle. Similarly, statement necklaces that sit just above the chest or scarves that drape asymmetrically add gentle visual movement. When layering, choose jackets or cardigans that taper inward slightly or feature adjustable ties. You can define your waistline without forcing it. Here's a small visualization tip: when you look in the mirror, imagine drawing an S shape from your shoulder down to your hip. That's the line your outfit should create. It's not about exaggeration, it's about balance and energy. Clothing that creates that subtle curve makes your posture feel lighter and your overall appearance more dynamic. One of my favorite looks for the rectangle shape is a soft cream blouse with a bow neckline tucked into high-waisted navy culottes, paired with nude heels. It's an outfit that moves beautifully, feels effortless, and celebrates femininity without fuss. It works just as well for brunch with friends as it does for an afternoon at the art museum. And perhaps most importantly, remember that style at this stage of life isn't about recreating your 20s, it's about embracing who you are now with intention and ease. The rectangle shape may seem simple, but it holds a quiet strength and sophistication that many designers love to dress. Once you understand how to bring in flow, softness, and structure, every outfit becomes an opportunity to sculpt confidence, one elegant line at a time. The hourglass figure is often seen as the most balanced of all body types, shoulders and hips in harmony, with a naturally defined waistline. Many women over 50 still carry this shape beautifully, though it may have softened slightly with time. The goal here isn't to emphasize curves to the extreme but to highlight them gracefully, keeping every look polished and age-appropriate. Elegance, after all, lies in moderation. At this stage of life, the body changes subtly. According to a 2023 study by the American Council on Exercise, most women experience a small shift in fat distribution during and after menopause. The waistline might expand slightly, and firmness around the midsection can lessen. But the hourglass silhouette remains one of the easiest to flatter. It simply requires mindful styling to maintain that gentle proportion between bust, waist, and hips. Think of your shape as a sculpture. The curves are already there. Your clothing is the frame that enhances them. Wrap-style dresses, soft belted midi dresses, and lightly fitted tops that follow the natural waist are ideal choices. A classic wrap dress, especially in a medium-weight fabric like jersey or silk blend, skims rather than squeezes the body. It moves with you and subtly draws the eye toward your narrowest point, the waist. One of my clients, a 62-year-old former art teacher, once told me she rediscovered her confidence when she tried a wrap dress for the first time in years. "It reminded me that my body still has shape," she said. I just needed clothes that respected it. For tops, a slight V-neckline works wonders. It elongates the neck and balances the upper body without being revealing. Look for materials with a bit of stretch, cotton with elastane, soft knits, or blended crepe. These fabrics contour naturally, making the waistline visible while keeping movement fluid. Pair these with straight or wide-leg trousers that sit high on the waist. This creates the illusion of longer legs and keeps the proportions elegant. Here's a small stylist secret: maintaining the 1/3 to 2/3 proportion rule instantly refines your look. Imagine dividing your outfit visually: the top 1/3, the bottom 2/3. When your blouse or jacket ends right around the waist or just above the hips, it draws attention to your curves without cutting your body in half. It's one of those subtle tricks that fashion editors swear by. Outerwear is equally important. Long, lightweight cardigans or slim-fit blazers that remain open through the center help emphasize the natural waist without covering it up. When choosing a blazer, look for one that gently tapers at the sides or includes a built-in belt detail. This maintains structure without feeling restrictive. For women who prefer layering, try leaving the middle button undone. This simple move creates a visual column that highlights your waist while elongating the torso. Now let's talk about what to avoid. One common mistake among hourglass figures is hiding behind boxy, shapeless pieces. A straight tunic or oversized sweater can completely erase your best feature, your waist. On the other hand, ultra-tight fabrics can feel forced and uncomfortable, often drawing attention to small imperfections rather than the overall silhouette. The magic lies in balanced, soft structure, not stiffness. Texture also plays a key role. Choose fabrics that drape, not those that cling. Light knits, matte silks, and soft cottons move beautifully with the body. Avoid overly thick or rigid materials like heavy tweed or stiff denim that can distort your natural line. Instead, think of garments that flow with you, like a gentle rhythm that celebrates movement. Footwear can make a surprising difference too. Heels between 3 and 5 centimeters, about 1 to 2 inches, give you that subtle lift without discomfort. A small heel elongates the leg line and complements the proportional harmony of the hourglass figure. Nude or skin-tone shoes can enhance this effect even more, visually extending the leg. Accessories are your opportunity to frame the waist even further. A slim belt in a contrasting color can define your middle without overwhelming the look. For example, a camel belt over a navy dress creates a classic, tailored finish. Statement earrings or a delicate pendant can pull the eye upward, keeping the balance between top and bottom effortless and natural. When dressing an hourglass body, think of flow and framing. You're not reinventing your shape, you're refining it. Your figure already has the structure that designers love to work with. Your task is simply to guide the eye with grace. Whether you're slipping into a fitted blazer for lunch or a wrap dress for dinner, the right proportions will make your outfit feel intentional, never accidental. And perhaps the most empowering part, this balance you're creating through clothes reflects the same balance you've cultivated in life, a harmony between confidence and ease. Your wardrobe should feel like a reflection of that wisdom, elegant, composed, and unapologetically you. At the end of the day, dressing beautifully after 50 isn't about hiding your body, it's about honoring it. When you understand your shape and choose clothes that work with it, not against it, everything changes. You stand taller, move with ease, and feel more like yourself again. Remember, elegance isn't reserved for youth, it's the reward of wisdom and confidence. So this week, try one of these styling tips and see how it transforms the way you feel. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more effortless style advice made just for women over 50. Thank you for spending this time with me, and until next time, stay graceful, stay confident, and keep shining.